Hi guys. This is a lesson for Friday, March 20th. You made it through your first week. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for that one. This has been very difficult and you made it through your first week, so I'm proud of you all. Nice job. I do want to give you a little heads up to check the discussion thread, check your announcements. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, if you want to say, hey, use it. I check it all the time. That's what it's there for. So if you need anything, let me know. So you have a bell ringer today. The question is, why was the Battle of Midway significant to the Allies' fight in the Pacific? What was gaining control of Iwo Jima important to the Allies in their fight against Japan? The what should be a why. I'm changing it right now. I'm so sorry. Why was gaining control of Iwo Jima important to the Allies in their fight against Japan? Fixed. So, Iwo Jima and Midway. Remember, I showed you the Midway was an island or basically a rock. Both Iwo Jima and Midway are basically a rock, and both of them are very important for their respective countries. Why are they important to hold onto? What's the goal for both of these countries? Where are they heading? Japan's heading closer to where, and the United States is trying to get closer to where? That's your bell ringer question. So answer that question. Okay. Today we're going to do slides 57 and 58. I got my slides over here. 57 and 58. Ooh, we are getting closer to the end of the war. It's getting close. Today we're going to talk about the FDR, and in honor of that, I wore my FDR shirt, my Franklin Roosevelt shirt from his museum, from his home. On the back, it says a bunch of stuff like that he's done. It says like we live in a Franklin Roosevelt world. I don't want to hear any dictatorship jokes. Don't want to hear them. Don't want to hear them. I can't handle it, so don't give it to me. We do live in a Franklin Roosevelt world because all those things on the back of my shirt are things that he implemented. So thanks, FDR. Thanks. So we're getting closer. The title of this slide says "The War Ends in Europe." We're gonna look at pictures of FDR. It's gonna be great. So 57 and 58, American history. Here we go. So we got Battle of Midway, Iwo Jima. Next up, title is "The War Ends, in Europe." It's a little misleading, but we are meeting to end the war in Europe. We as in the big three. The big three is going to meet again. So Germany is dwindling down. We are going to push at Germany to an extent where they're going to lose their resources. It's war of attrition. That snowball fight, right? So this is how you win a war. You make your enemy run out of resources, and that's what's going to happen. By the time we had invaded in D-Day, and Germany was, not expecting that, but we had so many resources and military supplies, and we were prepared, and we had soldiers, and they were trained properly. We were ready, and they were not, and we're just gaining ground. So, the United States is coming in with the British soldiers and the Canadian soldiers in from France. On the other side, we have the Soviet Union trying to invade Germany as well. The Soviets are going to keep liberating the camps. We're going to start liberating the camps. We're closing in on Hitler, and he's hiding in Berlin in a bunker because he knows that the Allies are coming. So the big three meet at what's called the Yalta Conference. Yalta is a city in the Soviet Union. FDR had just taken the oath of office for the fourth time, longest serving president. He's going to die soon. But he just took the oath of office for the fourth time. What a guy. Elected again. No jokes about dictator. So he takes the oath of office and decides that he needs to travel into the Soviet Union. Now remember, yes, the Soviets are our allies during World War II, but they are still a communist country. We don't like communism. But FDR believes it is that important for him to travel into the Soviet Union, into communist territory, to end this war. That's how important he feels that this meeting is. So we have Franklin Roosevelt meeting with Joseph Stalin and Winston Churchill in Yalta. It's a city in the Soviet Union. So they meet, big three, And they are there to make plans for the end of the war. This is very important. Soviets are invading Germany. The Allies, British soldiers and United States soldiers are invading through France. We are about to conquer Germany. It is soon to be conquered. What do we do with Germany now that we are conquering them? The big three in Yalta, in communist territory, are talking about how we don't trust Germany anymore. We can't trust Germany anymore. We tried to help them after World War I, or at least Woodrow Wilson, only president with a PhD, tried to help Germany, but no one else wanted to. They instituted harsh reparations on them. They had to decrease the military. They had to give up land. So Germany is very upset with the world. They started World War II. We don't trust them to be by themselves anymore. We don't trust them to lead themselves. We don't trust them to have that self-determination where they have the right to determine what they want for themselves. We don't trust them. So the big three decides at the Yalta Conference to divide up Germany into 4 sections. I should have had my picture. I actually, if you would imagine the classroom right now, behind the screen, I drew a picture of Germany. And I'm going to draw it for you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. So pretend that Germany is a circle. It's not really a circle, but let's just pretend that it is. So this is Germany. Right there. It's a circle. And the big three decides that they can't lead themselves anymore. We don't trust them to do that. So they each get a section. We're going to put France in one section because they're part of the Allies. We're going to put Great Britain in one section. Congrats, you can control a section as well. Plus Winston Churchill is at the Yalta Conference. Now there's these 2 sections left at the top. We got France, Great Britain. There is a city in Germany. It's the capital. That city is Berlin. I'll draw it right there. Now, because Stalin had fought alone on the Eastern Front against the Nazis, he had lost so many people. He had the Battle of Stalingrad. His soldiers froze and they were starving. The citizens, civilians in the Soviet Union, fought as soldiers. And he had fought by himself. I mean, in the Western Front, we had France, Belgium, Great Britain, and United States. You know, once we had conquered France and liberated them. So the Soviets fought by themselves. To be kind and to kind of appease Joseph Stalin, Winston Churchill and Roosevelt let him pick which section he wants first. Stalin picks the section with Berlin, which is the capital. There's going to be some consequences because he picks that section with Berlin. That little dot right there, that's Berlin. We say, Joseph Stalin, you fought the hardest. Thank you so much. We traveled all this way to come to your country. You can pick first. What section do you want of Germany? And he says, I want Berlin. What's he going to do that he doesn't tell anybody because he's sneaky? He's going to institute or attempt to institute communism and spread communism. I had to. You missed that. You missed it. I had to. Stalin's gonna lie and at the Yalta Conference and try to institute communism. Had to. Anyway, so Joseph Stalin picks the capital because if you were trying to change an economic system for a country, wouldn't you want to start in the capital? He's a smart man. So then the United States gets a part, and it's right here. We got the United States, Soviet Union, Great Britain, France. That's nice. That's Germany. Germany has no control of their country, and we divided it up like it's a pie, and there are people living in there. There's people living in there. This is the Cold War, ladies and gentlemen. The Yalta Conference, it sounds like a summary. The The Yalta Conference is going to directly lead to the Cold War. We don't trust Germany to lead themselves. They started 2 world wars, so we're taking that away from them. We are about to conquer all of Germany. Hitler knows we're coming for him. He's hiding out in a bunker in Berlin. And so we say at this Yalta Conference, thank you so much for fighting so hard, Joseph Stalin. You get to pick which section you want. We think by being nice to him that he will be nice to us in return and not cause problems later on. But he's a shiesty guy. He's got his fingers crossed behind his back and goes, oh yeah, I'm not going to cause any problems. I won't cause any problems. Picks his section of Berlin and causes problems. Cold War. Take me back to the Cold War. So we divide up and take control of these certain sections of Germany where there's people living there and they have lost all of their ability to govern themselves because they started 2 world wars. And this is going to directly lead to the Cold War. Now, another part of the Yalta Conference was Winston Churchill and Roosevelt asking Stalin to hold fair and free elections in the Soviet Union. Now, you have Russia, but the Soviet Union is called that because they're satellite states. We've talked about the satellite states. And we don't want Stalin to take more land, like Czechoslovakia and the Balkans and all those territories that the Nazis took over. We don't want Stalin to take hold of that. We want them to be free and independent. We want them to be democracies because if they're democracies, we won't fight them. Well, Stalin goes, yeah, absolutely. I'll hold fair and free elections in those countries. Behind his back. Fair and free elections is not a phrase that ever is a thing in Russia. They don't hold fair and free elections. That's not what they do. They don't do that. So he lies and he doesn't keep his promise. So everything at the Yalta Conference is a lie that Stalin says. He lies. We have divided up Germany because we don't trust them. And we try to be nice to Stalin. We try to appease him. But appeasement doesn't work. Should have learned that with Neville Chamberlain appeasing Hitler when he was first gaining power. But people didn't listen to their history teachers. Big 3 pictures. Here we go. Don't forget a summary for that slide, which I said something earlier that was a good summary. Look at them. Look at them. We have Winston Churchill, Franklin Roosevelt, Joseph Stalin in Yalta, in the Soviet Union. I want you to take a really good look at Franklin Roosevelt in these pictures, though, and I have 3 of them there, and I want you to go back between these pictures here. There's one in black and white. They're like laughing, like imagine laughing next to Joseph Stalin. It's kind of, I imagine it's like one of those laughs because it's like you killed a lot of people. So look between this picture at the Yalta Conference. Look at Roosevelt. Just look at him. The presidency has aged him so much. I mean, he was president for 12 years, which ages people a lot because it's been 12 years. But the presidency has aged him a lot, being stressed out. Same thing with Lincoln. If you look at Lincoln when he first became president and 4 years later, he looks very old. So go back and forth between that picture and the Tehran Conference, which is the first time that they met. He looks so young, doesn't know the horrors of World War II yet. And then if you scroll down to the Yalta Conference, it just looks so old. He's gonna die soon. And Stalin lied. Sad. So look closely at those pictures, zoom in and stuff. But yeah, we're getting closer, guys. Getting closer. Okay. Don't forget to write your summaries. This is Germany now. It is divided up like a pie. Sad. Okay. See you tomorrow. Well, see you Monday. Bye.